Welcome back to your computer application class, class 9. In this part of the video, we will switch over to your new topic, flow of control 1. In this chapter, we will learn about control structure, conditional control structure, if else if, nested if statements, switch case statements with default, and break statement in switch statement. These all statements you had already learned in 8th standard, but we will continue the same topics in the advanced stage in this class. Let's see the introduction. Programs are a sequence of logical instructions written in a computer language. Programs are nothing more than set of instructions which help you to execute your statements. Here they are saying programs are the sequence of logical instructions. Logically, when the statements are written in a computer language which helps you to accomplish your work, that is called programs. But all programs are not always written in a linear manner. Moreover, all programs cannot produce the desired output by merely executing sequentially. But some programs are not written sequentially. Some programs are not written in a linear manner, not in a proper sequence, but still they gives you sometime the desired output. Many problems required methods of conditional. Conditional means when you specify a specific condition that sometime lots of program occurs, and repeated processing of statement, where these programs occur when you are using the linear manner or when you are writing all the programs in a particular sequence. That time repeated processing may increase the length of the programming, or conditions may increase the complications in your program. Such statements are called control structure. In a simple words, also you can say that while writing a program, programmer typically use control structure to solve your problems. Now here, the definition of control structure is given. Control structure are special mechanism in programming used for conditional and repeated processing of statements. Such structures normally work with a block or a compound statement. A block in a Java, now see this, a block in a Java is a group of statements enclosed with curly brackets. When we executed earlier the statements, that time also we were using curly brackets to specify the block of the statement. Each statement in a block is a normal Java statement terminated by semicolon, and each statement in a Java is always terminated by semicolon. Child, control structure is used to describe the task a program is going to perform, or which type of program is going to be performed by the Java. A Java control structure represents a logical order of program instruction. Three basic control structures are sequential control structure, conditional control structure, and iteration control structure or looping control structure. Let's see here. There are special statements called jump statement, break, continue, exit, that are used to shift control from the control structure or Java block. This statement indicates that to skip a specific portion of a programming and execute the rest of the program. Let's consider your basic structure or categories of control statement. First is your sequential control structure. In a sequential control structure, the statements are executed one after another. Linearly in a sequence written they are. It indicates that all the statement written in a step-by-step process, and you have to execute all these statements step by step. In Java, the first statement to be executed in a program is the main method. The execution ends with the last statement of the main method. A sequence control structure shows one or more actions following each other in order. Actions include input, process, and output. all actions must be executed, that is, none can be skipped in sequential control structure. Examples of actions are calculating total and printing them. The program you have learned in your previous classes have followed this control structure. Till the 8th standard, you learned all the programs in sequential control structure. Next is your conditional control structure. A conditional control structure tells the program which action to take based on a certain condition or certain action. Let's see what they had written. These are the special control structure that executes a set of statements based on the result of a single condition. See, here you can mention a single condition. In a conditional control structure, you always get only one output. So they are also known as selection control structure. Every condition will always result in either true or false. If else, if, nested if, switch case statement are conditional control structure. Child, in a simple term, the chapter which we are doing, flow of control 1, that chapter is your based on conditional control structure statement only, or that category only. In the next chapter, flow control 2, we will learn your looping control structure. Let's see the next one, that is a looping control structure. Check the loop control structure enables a program to perform one or more action repeatedly as long as certain condition is true. That is called iteration. What iteration indicates? That repetition of a single statement by a specific number of times. Let's see what they are saying. The looping control structure executes a set of statements repeatedly depending on the value of condition. See, the value of condition, Boolean expression. Each time the statement or statements or block is executed is known as iteration. As soon as the condition becomes false, the control comes out of the loop. The set of the statement repeated again and again is called the body of the loop. The number of time a block will be executed is controlled by text condition. Java provides 3 looping structures, that is for loop, while loop and do while loop. Now see here, in a sequential control structure with the help of diagram, let's understand. Statements are written one after another. Block 1, block 2, block 3. All the statements written in a particular sequence. It indicates that first your first block will execute, then your second block, then your third block. There is no any other exception that any of the block can be executed. Second is your conditional control structure. Now, as I have told you that conditional control structure tells which action to take based on certain condition. So here we have a condition. If condition is true, then block 1 will execute. If condition is false, then block 2 will execute. And in the end, block 3 as an output will be executed. Next we have looping statement. Here also, condition in a looping statement, it performs one or more action repeatedly as long as certain condition is met. So see, the condition, if the condition is true, the body of the loop will execute. Condition is true, body of the loop will execute. Again, condition will check. If true, body of the loop will execute it. This process will in a continuity. But when the condition is false, automatically it will comes out of the loop. Next we have conditional control structure. As we learned that in a conditional control structure, we always get a single output. Let's see what they are saying. Conditional control structures are those that execute set of statements based on the result of single condition. They will check only here. They will check single condition, and afterwards, as if the condition is true, then one block will execute. If the condition is false, then another block will execute it. Here you have if else, if, nested if, and switch case statements. Let's see the first one. The if statement consists of a Boolean expression followed by a statement or block. The key if is used to evaluate a condition. The block is executed only if the condition is true. If the condition is false, the statement or block is ignored. And the syntax is if, condition, and then statement. Let's first understand with the help of a diagram, and then I will give you the example properly with program. Condition, here true. If the condition is true, block will execute and it will print the output. If the condition is false, there is no block to, straight away it will comes out of the statement. Now let's understand with the help of programming. Here program is there. I had created a program. Class is variable, public static void main string args, then int a, the value of a is 150. Here I'm saying if a is greater than 100, then the output should be the number plus a, whatever the value you had entered for a is greater than 100, and then I close this block. This is your simple if statement, right? Next we have if else statement. Here the if else is similar to the if statement in the fact that it is used to execute a set of statements based on the result of single condition. Every condition Boolean expression will always result in either true or false. If else construct consists of two set of statements. It indicates if the one statement is true, then that will be your output. If the statement is false, still you will get the output. And the syntax is if, condition, statement, else, statement. Let's consider the same example here. Earlier it was if statement. Now it will be the example of your if else statement. Now see here. Here the condition was if a is greater than 100, then the output should be the number is greater than 100. Else, now close the program over here now. Else system dot out dot println the number plus a plus is smaller than 100. Now, earlier we were getting only the output for if the condition is true. Now here if the condition is false, still we are getting the output. If the condition is true, the number is greater, otherwise the number is smaller. Our next statement is concatenating if else if statement. Now see here, the if else statement can be concatenated to more if else or if statement to form a chain of if statements. This is called concatenating if else statement. It indicates that if the statement is true, then that will be output. If the statement is false, then again that statement will carry the next condition and then the execution of the program. Here we can consider the more than one condition. Let's see here, syntax is if, condition, statement or statements. If the condition is false, then what will be the output? If both statement is false, then what should be the output? Let's consider the example. If A is greater than B, then A is greater. That should be your output. Else B is greater than A or B is greater. Else system both A and B are equal. Now see here, neither we know the value of A, neither we know the value of B. Here they are taken the all three conditions. whether the value of A, or either the value of A is greater than B or B is greater than A, or if the both values are not greater than from each other, then obviously the values are equal to each other. Consider the another example. If marks are more than or greater than 80, then grade is A. Else if the marks are greater than 60 but less than 80, then the grade is B. And if the marks are less than 80 and less than 60, then the grade should be C. We are considering three different statements, but we are getting a single output. Next statement we have nested if statement. When a complete if or if else statement is written within another if statement, that is called nesting of the if statement or nested if statement. The nested block can be written if block or inside the else block. The nesting can be done further to any level, but make sure that unnecessary complications are avoided. Mostly whenever we are using nested if statement, then it will create slightly a bit confusion for the user. Let's see that. Here the nesting statement it is, that is if condition, if the again we are mentioning if statement, then if the both conditions are false, then else statement will execute it. You can see the block here. If the condition is true, then second condition will check. If the second condition is true, then block 1 will execute. Otherwise, it will get out of the statement. If the condition is false, then block 2 will execute and then it will get out of the statement. Let's consider the example here now. Here I am creating a program and here I use the abbreviations. Please understand this. Here the class is nested, then public static void main. Instead of it I am writing here PSVM. Please understand this. PSVM is public static void main. Here I am taking three variables, int A, int B and int C. Next I am saying taking one another variable, that is max variable with the data type int. Afterwards I am saying that system.out.println enter the value of first number, that is A, enter the value of second number, that is B, enter the value of third number, that is C. If A is greater than B and if A is greater than C, then obviously maximum value is A. Else the maximum value will be C, right? Next is else if B is greater than C and then max value is B. Else max value is C. And in the end you can write system.out.println the maximum number is plus max and then close the program. Now in the nested if statement, as we learned in your diagram with the help of diagram, if the condition is true, then the second condition is checked and then the block is executed. Otherwise it will get exit from the block. Then if the condition is false, then the another block is executed and then it will display the output and get out of the statement. Now see here in the programming. Here what I'm saying, I'm taking here the three variables and I'm storing the output in max. If A is greater than B and A is greater than C, A is greater than B also and C also, automatically the value A is greater. Else the value C is greater, because A is greater than B but less than C. In that case, C is greater. Else, if B is greater than C, A is greater than B is already checked. Now, if B is greater than C, then B is greater. And if A is less than B, then only this part will execute it. Else, C is greater, or the carrying the maximum value. And in the end, we will write the maximum number is equal to, then plus max, semicolon. You might have been noticed that whenever I'm ending this statement, I'm using semicolon. And when I was explaining the chapter, that time there was one term was written that we always end the statement in Java with the help of semicolon. So semicolon and then closing the block. Next we have, our next statement is switch statement. The switch is a special selective structure where the value of expression is matched by the list of integer or character constant specified in the case statement. When a match is found, now see here, when the match is found, the statement specified within the case is executed until the break statement or end of switch is found. Switch statement can have optional default case which must appear at the end of the switch. Why we must have default case? In case if all the cases are wrong, then what should be the output? For that, we have to use default case. That indicates that that is mostly optional, but it's good to have it to execute the output if all the statements are false. Now see here, the default case can be used for performing a task when none of case is true. When none of case is true, no break statement is needed in the default case, and we are using break statement to end that particular case. Not because, and default is optional first of all, and secondly, in the default, if all the statements are false, then only we are using default, then no need to use break. If we will not use break statement, then the output will be in a continuity. Like if case 1 is true, then if I'm not using break statement, then automatically after first statement, second will execute, then third, then n number of statements. And in the end, default statement will also execute it. No break statement is needed in the default case. It can be used in place of multiple concatenated if statement. Now here one note is also there. There is no limitation of number of cases statement that can be used within a single switch statement. Each case is followed by the value to be compared to and a colon. Let's consider the example here. Here I'm using a program. Class is statement, then public static void main. Variable is marks, int marks. Data type is int. System.out.println. Enter your marks. Whatever the marks you want to enter, that marks you can enter here. And it will store in marks. Switch statement is used. Now, these all are keywords. Whenever we were using your statements or whenever we are considering your example, these all are your in a small letters. Reason is these all are your keywords. So, switch marks 10. Case 9 indicates that if the child marks are 9, then the output should be excellent. If the marks are 8, the output should be very good. If the marks are 7, the output is good. If the marks are 6, need to work hard. And if the marks are less than 6, or it's not 9, 8, 7, 6 or any of it, then the output should be very poor. Our last topic is break statement in switch. The break statement takes the control out of the switch block after the execution of the case block. When the case is executed, then only the break is needed. The break statement is necessary. Now see here the explanation. The break statement is necessary after each case block. If break is not written, the control will automatically move to next case label. This process will go till the break statement is found. Now see here in the example, case 1, the value is 1, then case 2, value is 2, case 3, value is 3. There is no break statement. So when you will get the output, you will get value is 1, value is 2, value is 3. And then break is here. So if all these cases are wrong, then that will be executed. Let's see here. Here is the explanation. Output Z is equal to 1. Now output is 1, 2 and 3, because after 1 continuity we are without using break statement, we were using your cases. When we are writing 2, when the statement value is 2, then the output is 2 and 3. Reason is same, because we were not using break statement. But when we will use 3, the output will remain 3. Reason is because after 3 we used break statement. I hope this chapter is clear to you. Please go through that chapter, do the practical practice in your home environment, number of time, and all the best for your examinations. Thank you.